Good morning.
We welcome in Riveting Radio Real Estate's Don Pannell. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you.
First of the month.
Yes.
Get you in here, talk about some things.
Yes.
Where are we at here on the old housing market? What's
Well,
going on
I have February's statistics for you. So we are down to 1.1 months of inventory now. Just keeps going down. So if you've thought about wanting to list your house, now is a really good time to do that because we just don't have that many properties available.
So this is another reason and way that the sellers are able to kind of make their own price points on these things too, right?
To a certain extent, yeah. It's so, and there's this statistics I thought was really interesting. There were 10 in the month of February. There were 10 newly listed properties, and the average price was $240, about $250, $249.8 something. There were 9 pending properties, and the average pending price was $275, so higher, which is unusual. But then there were 8 sold, and the average sold price was $196. So that's pretty interesting. I'm going to do some more research on that and find out what's going on with that. I mean, it's been pretty common that the pending price is higher than the listing price, but usually the sold price is higher too then. So I thought that was an interesting
And this again means that if all of the homes, everybody called you up right after this interview, Don, and says, we're buying all the homes within 1.1 month or 35 days or so, there will be no other homes available on the market in Shelton.
Unless some came on in the meantime.
Wow. That's incredible.
Well, and you can look at this in the month, 10 listed, 9 pending, 8 sold. I mean, so that basically leaves a net of 2 in there somewhere out of those 10.
And we're still at a 30-day closing. Is that usually kind of where it takes?
30 to 45, depending on
that's your 1.1.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Craziness, yeah. We are getting into the time of year when people start really thinking seriously about putting their houses on the market. So hopefully that will improve as we move through the season.
I know you have a whole program lined up for today, but I think I'm going to throw it out of the window right now and just ask you this question.
I'll just hold it till next time.
If someone's looking to sell their house right now or looking to buy after this major storm we've had, what are some things that folks should look at if they're going to look at a house? If the gutters are still on or if you're selling, what you should do to kind of mitigate any sort of excess water pooling that may have shown up. What are some things that people need to be aware of? And obviously, this is a storm once a generation. We're not going to see another 20 inches of snow. Hopefully
not.
Not for a while.
Yeah.
But that being said, the possibility is there when we do get snow annually. What should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, we've talked about this before, that it's actually in the winter is a good time to look because you see those things.
Oh, yeah.
And so there were a lot of homes that had gutter damage or roof damage, that kind of thing. So if those houses are on the market, I would hope that the owners would address those issues before somebody came along and did a showing.
Do they tell you the last roof inspection date, or can you ask those questions?
You can, yeah. And a lot of times they will say in the listing, new roof in 2014 or whatever. But those are the kinds of things that you have a home inspector for. When you're making an offer on a house, we always encourage folks to hire a licensed home inspector to come in, and that's one of the things that they look at. Is they get up on the roof and they see if there's any damage. They see if they can, if there's holes, obviously, but also if there's like loose shingles and that kind of thing, loose gutters. So those are the things that your homeowner or your home inspector will point out to you, hopefully.
Oh, the weight of all that snow! I thought we were going to lose the gutters. I can't believe they held up. They held up fine.
We had a couple houses in the neighborhood lose their gutters. The other one I saw is awnings and carports go down.
That was really common, and sometimes damaging the cars inside. I live in a condo now, so part of the homeowners association is them going around and taking care of that kind of stuff. So I was really pleased to see that the day after the big snow, they were out there with a big rake thing, raking off the gutters.
Good.
So that,
Well, that's great.
yeah. I thought, well, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yeah.
But they did that. So, it's good to know those kinds of things. Again, there are some things that you're just not gonna know.
Sure.
Until you actually get in there.
Something else that just popped into my head here is if you are just currently listing the home, and whether or not you go to John L. Scott website or any of the other listing websites so you can see these homes, but then of course always go back to Don when you want to make final decisions.
Yes,
of course.
yes,
but
of course.
if you're looking and a house has been listed in the last 30 days, but the pictures are obviously from summer,
Right.
is that something that you should be kind of concerned about, or?
I would be. It would be kind of a little bit of a red flag. I've seen several houses that have just come on the market, that obviously the pictures have snow in them.
Yeah.
So typically what we do in that case is we will take the picture, when we do the listing, but then maybe go back in a few weeks after
Take some more.
things have melted and take some more. But it's always, to me anyway, a red flag if all you see are pictures of middle of summer,
1955.
1955. Yeah. And it's also this is just me. So, but I always try and talk to folks that I'm working with about this. If you're looking at a listing and all you see are pictures of the outside of the house, that's kind of a red flag.
Okay.
Those kinds of things. Or if all you see are two pictures. You're allowed up to 25.
Why won't you take
in the
them all,
listing?
25?
Why would you just put two?
Now, should you refrain? There's some beautiful pictures we took of the house looking like Narnia, but is
Yeah.
that actually going to hurt your chances if someone, excuse me, like us, that were looking for areas that had little snow, see a house totally inundated in snow, and second guess moving in this area, maybe?
It depends. I think people are going to investigate what the weather is. Certainly, but to have one picture like that is I think fine, because it kind of shows. I've had before people have this gorgeous lilac tree or something like that.
Yeah.
So they'll put a picture of that in bloom.
So know that's what you're going to get in
right.
the spring or something.
So
That makes
one
sense.
picture like that is fine. But if that's all you see, then I'd kind of question
I've
that.
also seen on photo galleries, there'll be like 25, 30 photos.
Yeah.
But it seems like only 3 or 4 of them are updated. All the rest say from prior listing or something like that.
Right.
What's the deal with those?
That's and again another red flag. I mean, there's enough, with the cameras and stuff now, and professional photographers.
Digital cameras aren't. You can take as many pictures as you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You still doing that 3D? I know you've done a couple of those.
The Matterport. Yeah. That's pretty cool, because then you see the actual visual virtual tour, and then you get a dollhouse shot of that's pretty cool.
That's a great way to enhance the listings.
Yeah, and I've used professional photographers on several listings where they come in and they take like 3 hours to set up the lights, and then they'd have a drone that goes up, and so that's a really good. The more you can give people a sense of what they're going to be looking at, I think the better you are. I think.
There's obviously a cost to having a professional come in, but other than their professional eye, is there really a benefit? I mean, are people looking at the photo quality of the image, or if it was a little sideways? Or what are some other things that if you're going to take a photo? If I'm going to take a photo of my house, I want to make sure my bathrobe's out of the shot. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that.
And you'd be surprised at how many people don't do that, or they take a picture of an obviously very cluttered room when it would just take a little bit to just kind of, or just move everything out of the way, to which is the benefit that you get from a professional. They know about looking for things like that.
You don't have to say this, but I'll say this. If I see a photo like that and it's overly hoardy, if you know what I'm talking about, maybe the inside of the house not as well kept as maybe if you're looking. Again, you guys don't have to agree.
Yeah. Well, that's that kind of leads into this. The third I've got this list of how to prepare your house, and we talked about curb appeal and bathrooms the last time, and bathrooms that it's a good idea to have at least one bathtub in a house. So the next one is echoing another era. So if you're looking at a house, they say you may think your old-fashioned home has character, but buyers may see the character as its future expense.
Sure.
So the big cabbage rose wallpaper and the popcorn ceilings is a huge one.
Yeah.
And the problem there is that those popcorn ceilings may have asbestos in them.
Oh yeah.
So they are saying that old-fashioned features are terribly unappealing in our competitive market nationwide. Buyers are coming up with more money than they might have wanted to, and they don't want to sink more money into the house right away. So features to update that they're suggesting are outdated and busy wallpaper, popcorn ceilings, all over carpet, wood paneling, and flooring with old school patterns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They say if you can remove the wallpaper before you sell your house, please do. I kind of have a different take on that. If it's really good quality wallpaper, those are coming back.
Okay.
So, but if it's the big cabbage roses, if you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
then maybe
You'll know.
you'll know. You'll know if it's if it's in good shape and well attached. If it's not peeling, that might not be in this market. It might not be a huge thing because taking down wallpaper is something that somebody can do as a DIY.
Yeah.
You can also take down popcorn ceilings, but it's a mess.
Oh.
And so they're saying that if you want to do it yourself, fine, it would be a good thing to do before you list your house, but it's messy and time consuming. And they're saying that popcorn ceiling removal costs run between $1 and $3 a square foot. Wallpaper removal runs between 55 cents and $1.50 per square foot.
All stuff you
So
gotta think about.
not hugely expensive, but makes a huge difference in the overall appeal of your house. Carpeting is another thing, and I always tell people if it's clean and serviceable, then maybe just get it professionally cleaned.
Yeah.
If it's stained and again we talked about that odor factor, then maybe take it out and put in laminate or something like that. A lot of people are looking for hard surfaces now. They're getting away from wanting the carpeting all over.
Can you believe there was hardwood under this?
I know.
Don, how do we get in touch with you?
You can call me at 360-490-4493 or come and see me on the corner of 3rd and Railroad at the John L. Scott office. And I would love to talk with you about maybe listing your home and taking advantage of that low inventory market, or if you're in the market to buy, I'd be happy to help you with that as well.
Thank you, Don. Good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Good to see you.
Just